Marcus Jordan never enjoyed flying commercial, but today he didn't have a choice. Weather delays had grounded all private jets at Logan Airport, and his board meeting in Chicago couldn't wait. So he walked into Terminal C like any other passenger, no entourage, no security detail. Nothing that hinted he was the founder and CEO of Skyways International, one of the fastest-growing airlines in the world. To everyone else, he was just a tall black man in a tailored charcoal suit, carrying nothing but a leather briefcase and a calm, quiet confidence that drew eyes even when he didn't try. The airport was a mess of delayed flights, restless passengers, and announcements repeating like broken records. Marcus didn't mind. He kept his head down, reviewing merger documents on his phone while moving toward his gate. As he approached the seating area, he saw only one empty seat left, a window seat in the very first row of the waiting area. He stepped toward it. Then she appeared. A woman in her mid-40s. Blonde hair perfect despite the chaos. Designer coat draped over her arm. Heels clicking with the kind of entitlement only money or the illusion of it could buy. She glanced at Marcus, then at the seat, and with a sharp huff, slid herself into it right before he could sit. Marcus paused. "Excuse me, ma'am," he said politely. "I was about to sit there." She raised her eyebrows, giving him the kind of look people reserve for waiters they don't plan to tip. "And first come, first served. Maybe try walking faster next time." She opened a glossy magazine, dismissing him without another word. Marcus didn't respond. He simply nodded, a calm smile forming on his lips. He wasn't offended. He had been underestimated like this his whole life. It fascinated him how quickly people revealed their character when they thought someone had nothing to offer them. Few passengers nearby had seen the exchange and whispered behind their hands. Some felt awkward, some embarrassed. But the woman didn't care. She crossed her legs, leaned back, and smirked as if she had won something. Marcus stepped aside, not bothered at all, and stood near the window. He checked his watch, then quietly said, for anyone paying attention, "If you're watching this video right now, I'd love to know where in the world you're watching from. And please hit like, subscribe, and share if you're enjoying the story." Now, let's continue. Just then, the airline staff at the counter picked up the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin pre-boarding for Skyways International Flight 282 to Chicago. We will first board our Platinum Elite members and any VIP guests." The woman who stole his seat perked up. She smoothed her hair and marched to the front of the line, squeezing herself in before the designated passengers. When she reached the counter, she flashed a stiff, rehearsed smile. "I'm Platinum Elite," she declared, sliding over her boarding pass like she was presenting a royal decree, "and I expect to be seated before the crowd of people behind me." The gate agent scanned her pass. It beeped red. "I'm sorry, ma'am," the agent said politely. "You're Group 4. We're pre-boarding now." The woman scoffed. "Excuse me? Do you know who I am? I spend a fortune on this airline. I should be in first class. Honestly, you people never learn." You people. A phrase Marcus had heard too many times. Before the agent could respond, another staff member approached the podium and whispered something in her ear. She straightened instantly, nodding quickly before speaking into the microphone again. Her voice suddenly respectful, almost nervous. "Attention passengers. We will now begin special priority boarding for the owner of Skyways International and his guest." The waiting area went silent. The blonde woman whipped around, confused, scanning the room with a frown. "Owner." Marcus closed the document on his phone and stepped forward. Every staff member recognized him at once, greeting him with respectful nods. Phones came out. A few whispers rippled through the room. "That's Marcus Jordan. He owns the airline. He's a billionaire. Why is he flying commercial?" Marcus approached the counter. The staff stepped aside as if welcoming royalty. The blonde woman stared, her face draining of color. He looked familiar now. Too familiar. Then she froze. Because Marcus walked straight toward her. The woman swallowed hard and tried to rearrange her face into something resembling politeness. Oh my God. I didn't realize. I didn't know who you were." Marcus gave her the same calm, polite smile he had offered earlier. "I know," he said simply. She stammered about the seat. "I didn't mean anything by it." "You can have it, really. I insist." He glanced at the empty seat she had stolen and then back at her. "It's all right," he said gently. "You needed it more." The woman's cheeks burned crimson. But Marcus wasn't finished. He added, "Actually, since you seemed very eager to board early, you can come with me." Her eyes widened in relief. "Really?" Marcus nodded, turning to the gate agent. "Please make sure she boards." The woman straightened up proudly, waiting to hear the rest. With Group 9, the entire gate gasped. Group 9, the very last. After families, after pets, after literally everyone else, the woman's jaw dropped. "Wah, but you can't." "I can," Marcus said kindly. "I own this airline, sir," the staff added politely. "Your private cabin is ready." Marcus walked down the jet bridge, leaving the woman frozen, her pride shattered, her magazine trembling in her hand, and that was only the beginning. Marcus stepped into the jet bridge with the calm, steady walk of a man who had nothing to prove and everything under control. The air shifted around him, the staff straightened, the murmurs grew louder, and even the pilot waiting at the cockpit door greeted him with a respectful nod. But Marcus barely noticed any of it. His mind was on something deeper, older, heavier, something the blonde woman in the terminal had unknowingly awakened, because, once upon a time, Marcus Jordan wasn't a billionaire CEO. He was the kid cleaning trays in the back of an airport cafe, ignored, underestimated, and talked down to by people just like her. And today felt like a full-circle moment. The flight attendant guided him toward the private onboard suite. Luxury cabin meant only for VIPs. But as Marcus stepped inside, something unexpected stopped him. A little boy was sitting in his seat. Not touching anything, not playing, just sitting there, holding a small toy airplane, staring at the floor with wide, nervous eyes. Next to him stood a woman, exhausted, apologetic, breathless. "Sir, I'm so sorry," she said instantly. I didn't know this was someone's special cabin. The flight was overbooked, and they told us to sit here temporarily. I'll leave immediately." Marcus raised a hand gently. "It's okay. Breathe. What's your name?" "Angela," she said, still panicked. "I'm a single mother. Seat mix-up." The flight attendant said, "It's fine," Marcus said calmly. "You and your son can stay for a moment." The boy looked up. "Is this your airplane?" he asked, voice trembling. Marcus smiled. "It is." "Wow," the boy whispered, eyes wide. "I want to build airplanes one day, ones that can fly really, really far." Marcus crouched to eye level. "You can," he said, "and when you're older, call Skyways. I'll give you an internship." The mother covered her mouth, tears filling her eyes. "Sir, thank you." Marcus stood. "Let's get you to your proper seats." The flight attendant, having heard everything, hurried over. I apologize, Mr. Jordan. There was a system error. We fixed their seats." "No problem," Marcus replied. "Make sure they're comfortable." When Angela and her son left, the boy waved his toy airplane at Marcus. "I'll make one for you one day." Marcus nodded. "I'll be waiting." As the cabin door slid shut, Marcus exhaled. The world saw a billionaire. But moments like that reminded him who he actually was, the kid who dreamed big in a world that told him not to. Moments later, the plane began to taxi. But before takeoff, something interesting happened. A flight attendant entered his private cabin, biting back a smile. "Sir, the woman from the terminal. She's been asking if she can upgrade to business class now that she knows who you are." Marcus chuckled lightly. "And what did you say?" "I told her upgrades require approval." "Good answer," he said. Then he took a sip of water and continued reviewing his documents. But the peace didn't last long. Once the seatbelt signs turned off, Marcus decided to stretch his legs, slipped out of his private suite, and walked through the first-class cabin, nodding to passengers who recognized him. When he reached business class, he noticed something strange. The blonde woman was in a heated argument with a flight attendant. "I don't belong in the back," she hissed. "This seat is too small, the tray table is crooked, and I'm next. To a man who smells like peanuts? Why can't I move up there?" She pointed toward first class. "I deserve better." The flight attendant, staying calm, replied, "Ma'am, your original seat was in basic economy. This is already an upgrade. But I know the owner," the woman snapped. "I was just talking to him." Marcus stepped forward. "You were?" he said. The entire row whipped their heads toward him. The woman froze, her anger evaporating into a terrified smile. "Oh, Mr. Jordan, I didn't know you were walking through here." "I noticed," Marcus replied gently. The passengers watched, waiting for what he'd do. Some recorded discreetly. The woman smoothed her hair again, a reflex. I wanted to apologize again for earlier. I wasn't myself." Marcus looked at her for a long, thoughtful moment. "That's the thing," he finally said. "I think you were exactly yourself." Her smile cracked. "And you're not being punished," he continued. "You're just being treated the same way you treated me. That seems fair, doesn't it?" The woman swallowed hard, cheeks burning red. She couldn't answer. Marcus nodded to the flight attendants. "She stays here." Then he turned away, walking down the aisle, but he didn't go back to his cabin yet. As he walked deeper into the plane, he heard laughing, talking, the normal chatter of a long flight. But when he reached the very back, Group 9 territory, something unexpected caught his eye. It was Angela and her son. Their new seats were in the very last row. Next to the lavatory, cramped, loud, freezing from the constant AC draft. Marcus frowned. This wasn't right. He approached them quietly. "Are you too comfortable?" Angela looked embarrassed. "We're okay." "Really?" The flight attendant said these were the only seats left. Marcus shook his head. "That's not happening." He turned to the flight attendant nearby. "Please move them to first class. And tell the staff to bring the boy one of the aviation model kits we keep for VIP kids." The woman nodded quickly. "At once, sir," the boy gasped. "We get to go in the fancy seats." Marcus smiled. "You do?" Angela tried to stop her tears. "You've already done so much. It's my airplane," he said softly. "And people like you deserve good seats more than people like her." She nodded, overwhelmed. As they were guided forward, the boy stopped to hug Marcus. "Thank you," he whispered. "I'll never forget this." Neither would Marcus. Because as the plane soared through the night sky, Marcus felt something shift inside him, something bigger than wealth, bigger than power. His life had been shaped by people who underestimated him. So he made a quiet promise. No one good, kind, or humble would ever be overlooked on his airline again. And as for the blonde woman, she spent the entire flight stuck in a narrow seat beside the peanut-scented man, learning a lesson she would never forget. Because sometimes life doesn't humble you gently. Sometimes it lets the person you underestimated show you exactly who they are. And Marcus Jordan was the kind of man you never look down on twice.